I'm convinced you can get any man to worship you and give you princess treatment right now if you know this one thing. The secret is that you can literally train any man to treat you the way that you want to be treated, give you princess treatment, spoil you, and literally make him obsessed with you by doing the right things when you're dating, by saying the right things, and by basically creating the right situation. Most girls were taught just to go on dates, to talk about themselves, and to just hope and pray that this man becomes obsessed with them and gives them princess treatment, but that is not the way. You should always be yourself, but you need to learn how to train a man to give you princess treatment, to spoil you, to respect you as an elite woman, and to literally become obsessed with you. So like and save this video because we're gonna go over the tea right now. First thing you want to do is dress and look like a high value feminine woman. You want to wear things that make him see you as a girly princess who is spoiled, who is used to getting princess treatment. Second, be the prize in the relationship and date him as the prize and in your feminine energy. That means you learn how to get him to give you princess treatment, spoil you, you make him prove his worth and work for your love. You're always in your feminine energy, which triggers him to be in his masculine energy. This is how you train your man to become obsessed with you, give you princess treatment, see you as the prize that is always being chased. You have to learn how to act like the prize, act in your feminine energy, speak like the prize, speak in your feminine energy, dress like her, because when you do that, he will then treat you that exact way. You are the cause, and the way he treats you is literally the effect. And you can literally train any man to do this right now, giving you princess treatment right now, planning the best dates, giving you flowers, paying for things, opening doors for you. Because as soon as you change the way that you are acting, you are completely changing the cause in which he is reacting to. I wish I could gatekeep this information, but it is just too good. If you're a girly who just doesn't know what to say, doesn't know how to act, or doesn't know how to dress to literally get your man to be obsessed with you, to act like the prize, be in your feminine energy, and literally make him worship you, I use a formula that gave me literal scripts on what to say to him to get him to give me princess treatment, to spoil me, and just treat me in my feminine energy. Like, literally with these scripts, I can get whatever I want, and I say it in a feminine way where he's just like, yes, princess, I'll get it for you. I'll do it for you. Of course, princess. Showed me how to dress to look like I am a feminine princess who literally always gets princess treatment, who has literally never paid bills in her life, looks like she gets everything paid for, and literally looks like she's just a stay-at-home wife. So now everyone just sees me as so feminine, so cute and high maintenance, and literally gives me princess treatment all the time. Even just random strangers on the street opening doors for me, giving me free things. In the formula, it showed me exactly how to act like I was the prize and date in my feminine energy, so that he literally sees me as an elite woman that he has to court, take me on the best dates, take me to the nicest places, show me why I should love him, why he should be in my life. It puts them in their masculine position where they literally become obsessed with you. They start chasing you. They start trying to change your tires and like literally help you with everything in life just to be in your life. The formula that I use is called the high value woman formula, and it literally just made me that girl like that. Literally changed the way that every man treated me overnight. I watched all the videos in the formula and used all the scripts, exactly what it told me to do, and I literally take it with me everywhere if I ever want to feel in my feminine energy, or if I ever want to know exactly what to say to literally get him to give me princess treatment or treat me like a high value woman. The girls that I put this onto are literally getting breakfast in bed, shopping sprees on the first date, literally everybody opening doors for them, giving them free things in public, food, coffee. If you want to become the literal it girl and high value woman and make him obsessed with you right now, go grab the high value woman formula in the second link in my bio, and you can get instant access to all of the videos.
Men are biologically wired to look at youth and beauty. What do women compete over the most? Youth and beauty. Women spend thousands of dollars to look younger, to look more beautiful, getting their nails done, makeup, hair extensions, because they want to compete with other women over beauty and looks. Therefore, when men check out other women, we get triggered because we think they are better than us. That's why I always say you do have the upper hand as a woman if you don't even react to him checking out other women, because you know they're not a threat to you. Women compete over beauty. What do men compete over? Money and power. Because the more money a man has, the more resources a man has, the more he will get attention from women. So men compete with other men over money, power, leverage, influence. So if you want to make your man jealous, you trigger that exact thing that he competes over with other men. When he checks out other women and it triggers you, you pull the reverse card and you will check out other men's wealth. Talk about your rich guy friends. Talk about all the yachts that you've been on in Europe summer. Talk about on all these trips you're going and all these rich people that you know of. Talk about your guy friend's Lamborghini. Talk about how much better you would be off as a woman if you would be with a rich man. That is how you trigger a man's ego, and that is how you make a man jealous. Not by talking about how beautiful other men are, not by checking out other men. Men don't care because men don't compete over looks. Women compete over looks and men compete over money. Do with that information whatever you like.
These are my favorite weight loss tips to literally look hot and snatched like all the time. Quick disclaimer, this is literally just what worked for me. Okay, so when I say I literally used to look like I was pregnant, like I kid you not, just a couple months ago. This is how my body and my face looks now. So let's get into it. First thing that I changed was I started using the Princess Treatment formula. I just wanted people to become obsessed with me. I wanted to become the hottest version of myself. I wanted guys to literally worship me and give me princess treatment all the time. So I started using the formula. I started using the affirmations, and I started basically doing what they were telling me to do in public. And I started feeling so freaking good about myself. I started feeling so hot. Everybody started becoming so obsessed with me. And so naturally what that did was, first of all, it regulated my nervous system, which helped me decrease my cortisol, which helped me lose weight, also helped me grow my hair. It helped my face stop being so inflamed and breaking out. It literally like took away my acne. And then because I was changing the way that I saw myself and the way that I felt about myself, and because other people started literally becoming obsessed with me, it motivated me to change the way that I was eating and also what I was doing for working out. So I started doing Pilates 3 to 4 times per week. And then I also started basically eating less. I feel like when I was feeling so bad about myself, I was trying to eat so that I could make myself feel better and soothe my emotions. So I started eating healthier and I started eating less. Because I was using the formula, I started feeling better about myself. People started inviting me places, giving me like princess treatment. So I started literally dressing up nicer, always presenting myself better. And that kind of just created a chain reaction where I had a massive freaking glow up without really even trying. So the tips: grab the Princess Treatment formula in my bio, start Pilates, and then eat in a calorie deficit and feel freaking good about yourself. Use all the affirmations in the formula in my bio. Do what they tell you to do like throughout your entire day, and you will feel so freaking good, become so magnetic, and you will naturally literally glow the hell up.
What do Nara Smith, Emily Mariko, and Ballerina Farm all have in common? Instead of using their wealth to tout a lavish life of material abundance like we're used to most influencers doing, they instead portray a different type of affluence. Quality food, the time to cook from scratch, health. Historically, online wealth signaling has been used to show the masses, us consumers, what they can't have. Can't have my layers of Van Cleef necklaces or Hermes Birkin. Can't live in LA with an 8-figure mansion. We devoured content from people with clout. And so the public started spending money on designer to mimic the coolness of their favorite celebrities. We included ourselves in what was meant to be exclusive. But then Jeffree Star moved to Wyoming to tend to yaks. Kim Kardashian is flexing an abundance of fresh fruit that's out of season on her story. Major personalities with massive influence over us started switching what they show off. Now we see the rise of influencers who flex a healthy lifestyle, wholesome food, a work-life balance, a new kind of exclusive lifestyle that most of us can't achieve. This isn't a ploy to get more viewers by being relatable, because it is in fact not relatable. We enviously watch Nara Smith's videos knowing that we would never have the time to make homemade cereal. Emily Mariko's farmers market hauls are tantalizingly out of touch because that amount of fresh produce would cost a fortune. The new wave of internet flexing is a healthy lifestyle, and I feel that's much more dystopian than a Ferrari.
Have you ever overshared with the wrong person and later on you thought to yourself, I never want to do that again? We've all been there. The next time this happens and you feel pressured to continue that pattern of oversharing, I want you to go Grey Rock. Wait, what? Yes, gray rock is a communication tactic where you become more bland or basic with your responses and overall less engaged in the conversation. And for reference, I'm Well with Rael, your communication coach, here to help you socialize and articulate with kindness, class, and confidence. Executing the gray rock method can be hard for those of us who are extroverted or like to talk or have a pattern of sharing certain information with certain people. You might also think that going gray rock means you're being cold, defensive, or angry, and that doesn't have to be the case. So here are a few examples of replacing oversharing with some soft gray rocking. Yeah, remember I told you I got fired last month? It's been so hard finding a new job. People just don't respond. I was barely making rent as it is, and now my severance is almost up, and I'm really worried. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still looking for a new job and going to a few different networking events to hopefully meet new people and find new opportunities. Which networking events? Local ones that I've heard people talk about over the years or I've Googled. If you know of any good ones, let me know. You know how I was telling you we were going through a really tough time in our marriage? Well, things are taking a turn for the better. We started going to therapy. We told our kids about it just to be super transparent with them, and we're really hoping for the best. Things are a lot better. Thank you for asking. We went through it a little bit, but are taking it one day at a time, and we've been in a really good spot lately. Have we considered therapy? We'll see. How about you? How are you guys doing? When am I going to finish school? Well, to be honest, my grades have really slipped this last semester. I had this one professor who really wanted to fail me for some reason. I don't know why. It's like he was out to get me. And we'll see. I might be delayed in graduating because I'm just not doing so well right now. I'm working on graduating as soon as possible. I might actually take a few extra courses to make up some credits and speed the process up. Am I late to graduate? I don't know. I've seen people graduate way earlier and way later than they should have. Bottom line is to keep your tone friendly while keeping your answers vague and open to interpretation. You can dial it back and go gray rock without getting overly icy or awkward. Let me know if you try this, let me know if it works, and keep it in your back pocket.
This is the number one thing that you need to stop doing if you want to get anywhere in life. I'm a career psychologist, and all I see is people developing skills that they're not naturally good at. People are naturally skilled in the thing that you're trying to develop, so they'll always be ahead of you. You need to identify skills that complement your personality. For example, if you're an introvert and you thrive in deep thought, don't go developing your public speaking skills because the extrovert is always going to be ahead of you. You need to enhance your analytical skills because when you focus on your natural talents, work feels like play and you've basically hacked the system. I'll give you an example. Zoe, our client, is a virtuoso, an ISTP profile. We channeled her problem-solving skills and love for hands-on work into mastering coding language. She's now the most sought-after talent in the startup tech space. Since working with us, she's made double the salary and she's happier than ever.
A red flag is him talking about another woman in your presence. And the interesting thing is, I be listening. But the gag is, I know for a fact, oftentimes whenever I come across a guy that starts to either speak about another woman in my presence, and not even in the sense like he's talking about his mother or some boss or, anything of that nature. It's the fact that he's bringing up his past experiences with women, and then sometimes you might hear, some remnants of how he used to feel. My thing is, why are we speaking about another woman? It's the fact that you just met me. If you are getting to know someone, there's so much things to discuss between you two, but it's the fact that while that is happening, the time is being spent speaking about his past, another woman. What is that about? Is that like free therapy? What is this about? But anyway, it's the fact that a man can be so comfortable in speaking about another woman. I have to draw the line there because I know for a fact that is not something that they would be comfortable with me doing. I know for a fact if I start speaking about the men that I have dealt with, I know for a fact they're not going to want to deal with me anymore because they can't. They can't match that. And it's not like I would bring up these men with intent to make them feel bad or match that energy. But it's the fact that I have learned through my own experiences where I have created a space for a man to feel comfortable in talking about another woman for whatever the reasons. But it was in me realizing that when I do that, their ego does not do well. I don't know what that is about. I think that men tend to take measure. They tend to measure, or they care about, I don't know what it is, but men, they tend to care about what men you used to deal with. And I don't know if they need to kind of figure that out because they often need another man to teach them how to be. So they're often like assessing to see what treatment you have to kind of assess to see how they should treat you. It's very weird. It's giving fatherless behavior, because my thing is like, there has to be some type of standard. And if not, just be yourself and let me see what you got. But a lot of them don't have much to give. Not without someone having to like train them or teach them. Unless, of course, like, you know, the woman is probably like naturally manipulative, or she might do things to kind of elicit a particular response from him to get him to act right. Don't nobody got time for that shit. But I say this all to say is the fact that the same energy I have created a space for them to be comfortable in, I know for a fact that anyhow I bring that to the table and do that with them, they're going to be very uncomfortable. They are not built for the energy that they often are so comfortable with giving.
Somebody explain to me why my friends with kids have more.
Of course. When you have a child that you are now responsible for completely, your work ethic and your drive is on a different level. When it was just me and my husband, if I have $5 in my bank account, whatever, I can be hungry, I can be on the street. But my child needs to have everything. So if you are lacking drive and motivation, have a baby, have a whole human, and trust me, you are going to be different. You are going to be hitting all those goals on little energy. I don't know, you're going to figure out how.
I can tell right away if a relationship is going to last, whether it be my own or someone else's, by this alone. And this is actually the number one indicator of divorce. And being the lover girl that I am, I tend to catch feelings. And when I'm like, you know what, I think I really like him, but he does this, I will save myself every time, because I am not trying to go down that route. And like, I get that you really like them, but if you knew that it was going to end poorly, why not save yourself some time? Here's what it is. When you are trying to connect and the other person is rejecting that connection, or vice versa, what do I mean by this? Let me explain. For example, let's say you had a really hard day and you go to the other person and you're like, I had a really tough day today. And their response is, okay, well, you didn't really do anything. Or they say, yeah, my day was really hard as well. In that moment, all you're trying to do is to connect with that person. So if their answer is, oh my God, you had a hard day, tell me about it, I'm here for you, then beautiful. That is a relationship that's gonna last the test of time. It's the ones where you feel like they have to one up you, or they don't deem your issues as significant. It's gonna cause tears in your relationship over time. It's gonna cause you to grow distant from this person. The resentment is gonna be there. And over time, it's gonna add up. And it could be really anything. It doesn't have to be, oh, I had a hard day. It can be, oh my God, this really great thing happened to me today. And they just change the topic, or they talk about something that they're interested in or something that's going on with them. Any little moment where you're trying to connect and they disconnect or reject your need to connect, it's probably not gonna make it very far. Hit the follow for more content like this, and follow me on Instagram in case TikTok gets banned. I don't want to lose you guys, okay?
So a few weeks ago, I came across this video by Olivia D'Andrea called How Glowing Up Ruined My Life, and it made such an impact on me that I included it in my weekly roundup of video recommendations, which, side note, I have a video essay newsletter where I share recommendations every single week, so if you want to subscribe, you can check out the link in my bio. But this video follows Olivia D'Andrea, who is a creator who went viral on YouTube a few years ago for her glow up journey. It's a separate video from this one, but basically that video outlined all the ways that Olivia had changed up her diet and exercise, and all the ways that she was able to lose weight after a long journey of not being able to. So when I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw the title of this video, it really hit me like a ton of bricks, because I feel like this title puts into words exactly the way that I've been feeling about glow up culture that's been really prevalent in the last, I'd say, 10 years or so. But if you're in the right place to watch something like this, I would definitely recommend watching this video. It was a really real and raw look at all the ways that this quest to constantly make yourself better can end up having a very deeply negative impact on your psyche and just your vision of yourself and your self-worth as a whole. What I really love about this video is that it takes place over a number of years and really kind of follows Olivia through this journey of starting out as somebody who felt like they weren't worthy of love unless they were a very specific way, to by the end realizing that the true glow up had nothing to do with diet and exercise and had everything to do with learning to love and accept all versions of yourself first and foremost, no matter what, under any circumstances. Later on, I came across this video by a Sisyphus55 called The Myth of Self-Improvement that really made me think about Olivia D'Andrea's story. And this video really talks about how this concept and idea of self-improvement really is, in a lot of ways, just a lie. When we're constantly on this quest to improve ourselves in every way, we end up in a place where we burn ourselves out. You get trapped into a cycle of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And because of the way that we center ourselves in this constant goal of self-improvement, it can literally create a situation where we get sick of ourselves. I absolutely love this channel. If you're somebody that really gets caught in the trap of the post 9 p.m. intrusive thought, this is the channel for you. Like, this channel single-handedly has changed the way I look at things like self-improvement and productivity and all these things that we're really kind of conditioned to believe are so important to our society. And something that Sisyphus55 talks about in this video is that there is a way to actually get ourselves out of this self-improvement trap, which has a lot to do with embracing spontaneity and really learning how to live in the moment.
The most overlooked marketing trend that businesses tend to ignore: lo-fi content. When we looked at 3,000 business accounts on both TikTok and Instagram, we noticed a trend. Their lo-fi content on average got 34.04% more likes and 18.52% more comments. If you aren't familiar with lo-fi content, just think of the content created from a cell phone. But typically, the lo-fi content that did the best wasn't only shot with a cell phone. It was still edited, in which clips were changing roughly every 3 seconds. And although there were very fast frame changes, the content looked very organic because it was shot with a phone. It's a great way to make your company and products look more approachable and authentic because it feels more real. So the next time you're creating social media content, try lo-fi content.
Some people in this world seem to get it all. They achieve their dreams and goals. They live almost the exact life that they desire to live, but this is only the 1 to 2%. The rest of people flounder down in average or mediocre land, and some people even fall into the depths of despair and hopelessness and bad habits and addictions, and this is all too common. So what is the differentiating factor that creates this gap? What is it that the 1 to 2% of people do to get way up here while most people flounder down here? Well, let's try to simplify it. As we go through life, we reach points of awareness. These are points where we are snapped out of autopilot mode and we have the opportunity to make a change. When we become aware, we go into a point of contemplation where we can decide what we're going to do. Then we reach a point of decision where we choose a positive response, a negative response, or a neutral or no response. And based on those decisions we make, we go through certain tests and trials to determine if we will fall, if we will rise, or if we will stay the same. So in everyday life, it looks kind of like this. You're going through your life and boom, you have a moment of awareness. In that moment, you contemplate what to do with that realization. You could think of this as like becoming aware of your fault, becoming aware of your weakness. But because it's often unpleasant to face the truth about ourselves, what a lot of people do is they distract themselves at this point. So they never reach the point where they can actually make a positive decision because they go immediately into distraction and fall right back into stagnancy. But if you can avoid distractions during these times, you can reach a point of decision where you make a positive decision and you grow. But the thing is, whenever you make a positive decision, you go in a new direction in your life, or you choose a new response, you're going to encounter tests and trials. These tests will determine whether you continue to rise or whether you fall right back into your old habits. So it's not enough to just decide once. You have to continue to decide over and over again. And when you choose something enough times, it eventually becomes a habit and it becomes more automatic and unconscious. And when you reach that point where the positive responses are automatic and unconscious, you just continue to rise and rise and rise, and it's like this exponential growth curve. And that's how you can end up in the realm of the 1 to 2% of people who really live their dream life.
Ladies, I have said it before and I will say it again. I will never stop preaching this message. Just because you're on a family vacation, just because you have no friends around is no excuse to not have a slay Instagram photo, okay? Some of the best photos on my entire Instagram were taken by none other than my brother. Yeah, my brother took this Instagram photo. My little dumbass brother. It just takes some training. Give him a little direction, a little bit of yelling at, and a little bit of bribing, he'll fucking eat. It doesn't take your aesthetic photographer, Instagram baddie, best friend who knows all your angles to get a good shot, okay? Yell at your brother, train him, he will produce. It takes a little bit of time, he might hold a little bit of resentment towards you, but in the end, it's worth it.
If you really need to glow up, like God has put you in a situation where you're like, I need to become elite, this is exactly what I would do. And what I've done that I promise you will work. Obviously, you're gonna want to change your hair, your makeup, your style, da 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 da. The best way to do this is to get a template. You don't have a personal stylist, you don't have a personal makeup artist, but you can find somebody who looks like you, who does. Find a celebrity that has similar features to you, similar skin color, eye color, hair color, color palette. Start pulling photos of when you think they look the best. Notice how they do their makeup, how their hair is done, how their hair is colored, what colors they're wearing. The second thing, I will do this until the day I die. Start Pinterest boarding for every single month of the year. I do this seasonally and monthly. Bella winter, Bella spring, Bella January, Bella February. Anything I think I want to be the vibe of the month. Style, colors, photo inspiration, hairstyles, anything that I'm into, all of it goes on the board. I have no idea how much potential you will tap into when you start going through your days with intention and inspiration. The third thing, you want to boost your metabolism and your body's fat burning ability while you sleep. Start taking magnesium at night. Sleep faster, sleep better, and get real beauty sleep. Next is getting your hair trimmed. This is so underrated. No matter what kind of hair you have, it will make you look 10 times better every time. Next is no excuses, no matter what. Start getting your nails done consistently. The easiest way to look put together all the time, no matter what you're wearing. If you're not already self-tanning, buckle up. Your life is about to change, okay? Tanologist face drops. I don't even have anything to say because it's that good. It's like you don't know that you're pretty until you start using these, and I'm serious. Most of the time, you're actually not sad. You're just pale. My last thing is to force yourself to wear something that you've never worn in your closet before. Sometimes you don't pay attention to that random little top in the back of your closet because you're not being creative enough. Force yourself to get creative and think a little bit differently. You pop out with a new outfit every time. You'll feel a lot better about yourself. All the confusing information on supplements and vitamins out there for beauty, I'm gonna simplify it for you. Okay, start taking zinc. So good for your skin and your entire appearance, and it will keep you so hydrated, it's ridiculous. I hope that was helpful.
I used to fucking hate myself, and now I don't. I got some tips for you. Starting off strong with the hardest thing, first, you have to accept things you cannot change. Me, for example, I'm born with a very athletic figure and I have very broad shoulders. I used to hate it, now I don't, I love it. But I grew up in the VS era. I've wanted to look like Kendall Jenner for the longest fucking time, but then I had to accept it's never gonna happen to me because I am not built like that. I am not born like that. Even if I did get skinny, it's not gonna look like that on me. Things like that you can't change, but you know what you can change? Your surroundings. One day I just decided to do a detox on Instagram and I unfollowed every single person who didn't make me feel good, and I found people who resembled me, who looked like me, who had a body like me, that I wanted to be like. It really helped change my perspective on my body, at least a very significant way. I really don't want to keep the conversation just in physical attributes because there was also a time when I was in business school, everyone there came from STEM backgrounds and I came from a media humanities background. And for the longest time, I've always felt small, like I didn't belong because I didn't have the skills and knowledge that everyone seems to have. But then I looked inward and I realized that there are skills I can do thanks to my background that other people can't do. I can present my ideas better, I can speak more eloquently, and I can communicate just so much better. And it's something that was really overlooked in business school, and it's something professors have been looking for. So when I reminded myself of what I can do versus what I can't do, it really changed everything for me. I really became confident at school during that time. Number two, and this is also really hard, but you have to put the work in. I know people think self-care and self-love is about sleeping early, massages, rest, and I agree. But I think the greatest kind of self-love and self-care is actually being disciplined and working through your goals. It's called working on yourself for a reason. It's supposed to be work. It's not supposed to be just super easy. Think of it this way. Yes, there are things I cannot change, like my bone structure and my muscle structure, but there are things I can't change. I can't keep whining and complaining about not being in the fitness level or the body aesthetic level that I want to be in if I'm not doing the work. You have to do the work. You have to work out. You have to eat clean. You have to be in that uncomfortable position because if you're not, you're just stagnating. You can't just stop there. You think your makeup looks shit? Don't cry about it. Practice your makeup. You know what I mean? You have to do something. Okay, but in a more serious note, for example, you feel small in uni, in your school, in your job, whatever, and you don't feel like you're someone who can speak up confidently, you have to do the work. You have to practice. You have to do your research. You can't just feel bad all the time. You have to do the work. Basically, you have to empower yourself, not just through your surroundings, but through your actions too. Number 3, the last but not the least, and my most favorite, fake it till you make it. I honestly think this is the most important tip because no one fucking knows what you're feeling unless you show it to them through your face, through your actions, whatever. When you fake it, no one fucking knows. There are so many times I've walked into a room scared as fuck and no one knows. People call me confident a lot, but a lot of the times the shit I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it fucking scared for my life, but no one will ever know because I don't let them. I'm gonna be absolutely real with you. Doing this video right now, it's fucking scary to me. I feel so cringe. I feel like I'm putting myself out there. I'm giving people the vulnerability and the space to make fun of me. But did I show that? Fuck no. You're never gonna catch me like that. Like when I post something, I'm gonna post it confidently whether I'm scared or not. Oh yeah, it is what it is. I have been yapping my heart out here, but those are my tips. I hope you learned something. Bye.
I think of you all the time. Now that
This kind of makes me sad. I think we've all been there, ladies. So my advice for you is this. If you ever find yourself in a relationship where you love the man so much, but every single day you feel nothing but disappointment and pain from that very man, and you've tried everything, therapy, talking to him, explaining how you feel in 71 different languages, and he's still not getting it, leave. Why is the advice always to leave? Women need to understand this. Men's threshold for suffering is minimal. That's why you'll have a woman who'll be in a relationship, a marriage, or whatever, for years, completely unhappy, trying to make it work. And a man who's unhappy for 6 months is out with no regrets. By not leaving, you're teaching him that his behavior is completely fine. You've already had 150,000 conversations with him about how to improve. You've done the therapy. You've done Jesus camp. You've done it all. And he's still not getting it. You need to make a decision to stop complaining and enjoy the life with this man that is making you miserable, or get out. To be miserable or not to be miserable. The choice is yours. Don't be a slow learner.
An energy that I cannot stand is a girl putting down the effort that you're putting in to romanticize your life. For instance, I have glitter on my body right now, and it's on my hair, and I want to go to Pilates like this. This is how I want to look today, okay? But why is there always that one girl who says, why are you so dressed up? Why are you so dressed up? You're just going to a workout class. Why are you so dressed up? You're just going to Target. If you hate your life and you're boring, just say that. But really, like, does it look like I can stand up for myself? I have glitter on. On the opposite side of the spectrum, though, when a girl gets it and they're just like, you are so cute, I love what you're doing, then you instantly make a best friend. So there's 2 sides of this. However, the girl who's, why are you so dressed up? Stop being, just be happier.
A guy I was dating once said to me that he couldn't imagine waking up every day and not stretching. And I was mortified to hear that because I was absolutely not someone who stretched every day. And so I was worried that he wouldn't date me because I didn't stretch, so I started to stretch every day, and it's been months now. We did not date, but I still continue to stretch. I even got into foam rolling, as well as yoga, and now I don't go a day without stretching. I was once dating a woman who was a florist, and I really never cared about flowers before. But after they taught me how to take care of flowers, my house began to flourish, and I always kept flowers around. I suddenly became very interested in taking care of them, and I continued to study it on my own, even when we no longer spoke. I went over to my friend's house, and they had such a routine for taking care of their sofa. The pillows were constantly fluffed, and the blankets were always folded. So after watching her do it, I decided to do the same for my couch. And now before my friends come over, I always make sure to do the same to my couch. Anytime my mom would deep clean the house, she would always put on music on a loudspeaker, playing CD recordings of her favorite bands. And now every time I clean my house, I make sure to do the same, and I feel closer to my mom. One time I had a friend come over who said that I did not clean my sink as much as I should, particularly after doing dishes. And now I make sure every time that I see my sink, I clean it, even though I'm not friends with them and no one's coming over. Growing up, my dad always drank seltzer water, or sparkling water, because he grew up in Italy and it's more normal to have that than still water. So as an adult myself, I always drink sparkling water because of my dad. The people in my life influence my routine, and I thank them for that.
So I was speaking with a girlfriend the other day about divorce, and she was asking me when was one of the first signs that I knew something was wrong with my marriage. And I have this memory so heavily imprinted on my brain. I can still feel it to this day, and it sounds so weird. It was the middle of the night, we were both asleep, and in the middle of the night, my ex, while he was asleep, grabbed me from behind for a like spoon hug in bed. It was like one of those really good big bear hugs in bed. And that sent me like electricity through my body. I have never in that marriage experienced such joy than when he hugged me in that moment. And he was asleep and he wasn't doing it intentionally. And that joy and elation carried me through the week. I was walking on cloud 9 because of that hug. And I kept thinking about it, and I started thinking, like in hindsight, obviously, why am I so excited about a simple hug when he was unconscious? That's how little I had the affection that I needed. And it kind of clicked. I was like, that tiny little absolute nothing moment ended up being the best thing in my marriage that week. And that incident is what made me start kind of taking inventory of my relationship and taking a really hard look at it and realizing all the holes that were in my marriage. Okay, calm down. I did not divorce him because of the hug. It was years after that that we ended up getting divorced. But it was just one of those things that kind of started getting my brain thinking. We all kind of have those like domino moments, don't we? Where something happens that makes us start thinking about all these other things that we need to be thinking about. Like you've woken up and you can now actually see your relationship for what it is. Anyways, it's such a random moment, but I've never forgotten that feeling. And it's different for everyone. Everyone has one of those like first aha moments, and it's usually something really small. So if you're watching this, this is your reminder to go and hug and kiss your partner and tell them how much you love them. Okay, love you, bye.